Okay, physics dorks, it's time to start a new unit on charge. Charge! Yeah, this one's actually, oh god, I wish we were together because there's some cool labs you could do with this one and video clips and everything else. It's really kind of cool. But we are now moving into using and the basics of electricity, where it all starts from. And it all starts from something called charge. And it's just going to be a flow of electrons, and it's going to start everything we're going to go from. Okay. Um, Now, it all starts off with charged objects. Okay. Um, with these charged objects, what you end up having is you've got objects that have, they got a collection of electrons that they're probably not supposed to have. And what's really kind of cool is the atomic structure of different materials allow for them to allow their electrons to transfer from one to the next. And those things are called conductors. Humans are great conductors. Metal's a great conductor. Water's a great conductor. Wood, kind of sucks. It's not very good. But it's got to be something that allows the electrons to flow or move. It's really simple. And, what happens when you get this massive collection of charges? Well, we all know that positive likes negative and negative likes positive. So they like to get together and hang out. Well, if these electrons all get in one spot, they're like, I want to get over to Mr. Negative. Well, they're going to jump. And the easiest way of ever seeing this is through lightning. Okay, you get a massive collection of all these electrons or positive charges in another place, electrons in another place, and they want to get together, and they do it through this incredible blast right through here. That is just a massive movement of charge, and in the process, it superheats the air so fast that it makes a sonic boom. Yeah, we'd go through all kinds of video clips and everything. You do those on your own of how lightning jumps charge from one place to the next. And so what they realize is like, hey, we got to figure out a way to actually harness this or do something with this. And what they first had to look at is how is it created. Now, the easiest way it's created is something called conduction, where like if you rub your feet on the floor, you're actually stripping electrons off the floor or off the carpet. You build extra electrons, or you lose your electrons into the carpet, depending on the material. And you strip those electrons and you build up a massive amount of them. So you're walking around, you don't feel it, but you got a massive amount of extra electrons. Well, this doorknob doesn't have that many electrons. It's going to be, less, it's going to be more neutral, or it's going to have positive or whatever else. And so these electrons they want to get away. They want to get away because they're near each other, and they jump through that little arc right there. That's that spark you feel. Okay. And so that's the whole idea of how we initially built up charge. Okay. And so they started playing with this stuff a couple hundred years ago. They also found this out, is that you can create charge, or, a collection of it, by something called induction, where all of a sudden you get all these positive charges in one spot, all these negative charges in another spot. Well, if the negative charges get close enough to the earth, and they're like that. Now, guess what they do with the negative charges down in the ground? They take the negative charges, it pushes the negative charges down into the earth, and they go away. So what's left? The positive. Well, now suddenly you got positive, you got negative. What do those two darn things want to do? They want to jump together. And so they will actually then arc between. And that's the basics of how lightning works. It induces a charge separation. It induces it. It's like, I shouldn't say this, inducing a coma. You're making it happen. You're pushing the charges away into the earth, and now suddenly you've got a charge separation. So what happens if you're one little doofball standing right here with a golf club up in the air? Well, all those charges are going to come, and they're going to go right through your body. Okay. And that's something else we'll talk about later. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with this right now, and we're going to have you do a little bit of research on lightning and how we get these, pointed conductors and all that stuff, and have you do a little work tomorrow on understanding lightning strikes and how they actually do this stuff. Because, hey, we're all going to see this stuff. And I'll give you scenarios, in the past. I'll do another video of, I should just tell you right now, in a football game in 98, we were playing at McFarland, and we were just ready to score just before halftime, and all of a sudden they called the game with 30 seconds before half, and we get in. We had 2-hour delay or whatever else. Anyway, we go back out and we actually started the game 30 seconds to halftime, and oh my God, Heights beat McFarland 28-14, went on to win the conference championship. We were rock stars. It was so cool. But later in the year, we were having this discussion about this, and the one girl tells the other one, "Hey, do you remember at McFarland that time when our hair was all standing up on our head?" I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." Because why would their hair stand up on their head? Reason being is because the cloud over the head had so many charges like this that what was it doing all the electrons in their hair? It was shoving all the electrons in their hair down into the ground. And so all that was left in their hair were positive charges. Well, if one hair has a positive charge and another hair has a positive charge, well, they're not going to sit next to each other. They're not going to lay flat on your body. They're going to go up and doink. They're going to try and spread away as far as possible because they're both positive charges. And so that's what happened. Those girls' hair stand up. What that mean was could have happened any second. Because that means that lightning could have struck any time. So we're glad we got off the field or whatever else and then came back and kicked their butt later. But anyway, I'm going to have you do a little work on lightning and hopefully you figure that out. And then we'll get into how we actually work with charge. Okay? All right. Later.